Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Speak the Truth podcast. Donald Trump, he's kind of lost it when it goes down to Ilhan Omar. He's just kind of laid everything out on the table. She married her brother. She needs to be deported, and her state's filled with fraud. They're now focusing on Tim Walz and all sorts of other crap that's going on. ICE has shown up over inside of Minnesota and ran all the way down to New Orleans as well. And I've got a special surprise for you guys coming up here in just a minute. There's a very special lady that was yelling at ICE agents today because they were tracking down her cousin. Well, I might happen to have her phone number, and we're going to give her a call here in a little bit and see whether or not, well, one, hopefully she answers the phone. I almost wanted to blast it out there because it is public information. I'll explain it to you guys here in a little bit, and then I'll even post it so you guys can see it. But we're going to determine whether or not, we're going to see if we can't figure out a way to get her to admit that her cousin's inside of the United States illegally. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then we can take the video, clip it, and send it off to DHS and ICE if she's dumb enough to actually admit that. But, a lot of people still think that illegal immigration isn't like a huge problem here in the United States, regardless of all the reporting and all of the facts and figures and stuff like that ends up coming out on this. This video that you guys are seeing is a traffic stop, I believe, down in Texas. And it happened, I don't know, just a couple on the 25th of November. All right, so however many days ago that is, my brain's not firing on all cylinders right now. Good evening. Good to see you guys. Reason I'm jumping in early is I'm going to go over and I'm going to go volunteer at my church tonight. Forgot. I've been doing these things a little bit later, 10 p.m. Eastern, but today I want to be able to volunteer at my church and start contributing back to a place that I've gotten so much. So that's what I want to do. Now, what ends up happening is this law enforcement officer ends up pulling over this driver. Great. Sounds really, really good. And he pulls over a semi-truck driver. Well, it turns out semi-truck driver doesn't actually have a CDL. And then they call and they get a drug dog to come over, and the drug dog, alerts on the vehicle that they take him into custody or detain him and say that they're going to conduct a probable cause search of the vehicle. Guess what they find? You guys see the semi-truck, right? You guys see the semi-truck? There's no trailer on the back, no anything like that. Not a single thing on the back of this truck. Now watch.
Just wait for the other units. And who are you calling right now?
So loud.
All right. Can you just keep an eye on them? We're going to detain you real quick, okay? Wait. If we don't find anything in the vehicle, we're going to release you. Right now, we're going to conduct a probable cause search on the vehicle right now, okay? Open it. I can't reach. Open it. Okay. Yeah. No se muevan, no se muevan, no se muevan, no se muevan. Nadie. Están todos rodeados. Get more out.
You guys see that? Now, before I give you the final answer, how many illegals do you think that you can actually fit in the back of that truck? How many? How many illegals? I want to see it down in the chat. I just want to see you guys just dump numbers. How many illegals do you think that you can actually fit in the back of that semi-truck? Anybody? Anybody at all? I see multiple numbers. Funbo says 18. Somebody else said 24. I just want to know, how many do you think you could actually cram in the back of that truck? Because there is a very real answer that goes into it. Somebody says 10, 24, 1 million. Yeah, if you burned them all and put them in an ashtray, you could fit 1 million in there. Let's see, 16, 20, 18, 15. Yeah. No, the real answer, I love 121. Again, there's no trailer on the back of this thing, and they're not smuggling babies. They're all adults, people. For the love of God, can we get some realistic numbers in there? 23. 23 was the official number head count that ended up coming out of the back of that truck. 23. I see a lot of you guys ended up hitting it right there on the nose. So either A, you're used to smuggling people, or B, you've probably seen the same report that I ended up just talking about. So there's that. 23 is in it. Now, why does all this matter, and why am I talking about it? I remembered a couple of weeks ago I had gone on here and I had asked you guys, when we were talking about North Carolina, and I said, listen, you've got all of these illegals that are now emptying these job sites. Like, the job sites are completely and totally empty over inside North Carolina. Housing, like construction, all of that crap shut down. Multi-level apartment complex. There was one, I think it was like 78 people or 80 something people end up showing up normally for work on that day. And then there was like one dude. Right? Like, there was nobody there. It was absolutely insane. And so I brought up and I had said, like, how many of you guys have been affected by this? And I was just curious. And I remember reading through the chat and seeing how many Americans have been affected by this crap. So today I just said, blue collar workers sound off if you've been screwed over by illegal immigrants stealing your jobs. And holy freaking cow, this thing's only got 8,000 views on it, or 8,000 whatever on that post. Here we go. Eli, I worked with a big framing crew in Portland in the 2000s. 20% of us were Americans. Out of all the non-American workers I've met through the years, only one had a legit asylum claim. All others were here to get money for retiring in Mexico. It's not just stealing our jobs. It's the crap quality of craftsmanship they produce. They rip Americans and America off. Never seen people that effed up so much crap as I do illegal aliens and Latinos. Absolute trash. Nordo, I worked for a Fortune 500 AG company virtually. My department was let go, and I was told that they could hire 3 people in India for the price that they paid for one of us. Chris just ended up coming in and thanking me for it. He says, if you're having a home built for a business, built or any other construction work, demand that no illegal alien labor is used and hire a third party to inspect all of the work. You'll thank yourself later, I promise. I don't think he's wrong at all. Street Beat Live. When I built pools, I lost my job to an illegal alien that was hired for a minimum wage paid under the table. While building pools at new construction sites, 80 to 90% of all the workers were illegal, with a majority of those unable to speak English. Joe, I used to work at a grocery store in the late 90s, and the amount of money sent to Mexico was insane using Western Union. One guy alone was well over $10K a week, used at least 15 different names, and he would come daily. Do you guys see that? 15 different names, 10 grand a week. Tell me he wasn't in the drug trade. Tiffany says, devastated and pissed off. Sam Rose, ask all the HP contractors from 2001 that were laid off by Carolina Fiorina in a bid for H-1Bs and outsourcing for the jobs to India. She started this wholesale scabbing of American workers. Dude, and it just goes on. Yep, plumber here was told that it would cost too much to hire me over and illegal. And those stories continue to go on and on. And this is one of the main reasons, on top of like national security, right, that I'm so freaking pissed off about all this crap, as you guys should be too, right? Every single person in here should be absolutely ticked off about it. And the story, if you guys aren't up to par on it, the story about the Somalians stealing billions of dollars from the United States of America out of Minnesota and sending them back to Somalia has gone through the roof, through the freaking roof, because now Tim Walz is being investigated. Like, they announced it today. I'm going to show you here in a minute. Like, announced it today. Tim Walz is officially being investigated as part of this crap.
The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also
I
saying
wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Walz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with... Go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. Yeah. All she does is complain about this country. And without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth.
I would agree.
I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon. I hope. But what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And
as he finishes this out, ladies and gentlemen, this is real life. The president of the United States just called out a federal rep from Minnesota for immigration fraud. She married her brother, he said, and called it a fact. This isn't reality TV. This is literally what has taken place inside of our country. Mary Dean says, Matt, thank you so much for covering my state, Minnesota. I appreciate you and your compassion and love for our country. You are a godsend. Well, thank you very much, Mary. I really do appreciate that. And don't worry, I got something you're going to love that I got coming up here in just a little bit. But yeah, let's finish out Trump's statement because he got hammered.
A lot of it starts with the governor. A lot of it starts with Barack Hussein Obama, because that's when people started coming in. And you have to have people come in that are going to love our country, cherish our country. They want to kiss our country goodnight. They talk about our country. We want them to pray for our country. This is not the people living in Minnesota. And she's a disaster. She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople. Okay? They shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople because they don't represent the interests of our country.
That's not a lie. That's not a lie. They don't represent the interests of our country. Ilhan Omar is a massive pile of trash. Well, he went on, later to describe her as a pile of garbage. And while I get there, yeah, the world is outraged over Trump calling Ilhan Omar a pile of garbage. So I'm going to do two things for you. Show you the liberal tier outrage over Trump calling Omar a pile of garbage. You're going to hear the quote. And then I'm going to play some quotes for you from Ilhan Omar herself.
Garbage.
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great.
The President of the United States calls Somali Americans, including thousands of U.S. citizens, garbage.
Yep, that's true. He sure did. And everybody is raging and everybody is absolutely pissed off about it. Why wouldn't they be? Because he described them as garbage. Well, wouldn't you know it? In fact, they are garbage. It is just a fact. Like Somalia is the armpit of the world. When God got done making the world, he took all of his trash and he was like, I have all of these leftovers. What do I do with it? And he was like, nobody's ever going to live here, and dumped it over in Somalia. It's got a really beautiful coastline, really, really, really beautiful coastline. But I'm pretty convinced that that's what ended up happening when God ended up making the world. Now, with that being said, the people that went over there and inhabited it have been murdering and killing each other for decades, absolute decades. They don't even have an internationally recognized border in between them and Ethiopia. They've been fighting over for that for the decades, nor do I believe they even have a functioning government, if we're being perfectly honest. But I digress. Let's get back to the point at hand here, which is calling people garbage. And God forbid somebody call U.S. citizens garbage, right? That's only something evil that the left would do, right?
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is just supporters.
Oh. So instead of just saying that people from Somalia are garbage, apparently when you're president of the United States, you can just say everybody that supports the other side is garbage and only drum up fake liberal outrage because Trump ended up saying it. Dog hook fly fishing, man. He ended up coming in. Djibouti is garbage too. DJ 1000% is garbage. Absolute garbage. It's no different, man. They have one little road that ends up leading up out of Somalia. It's a pile of trash. Pile of trash. Dude, you have an entire, and for those of you guys that don't know, Djibouti sits right on the top of Somalia, right? And like inside of DJ, you have like entire cities just made out of sheet metal. Right? Like city block after city block after city block, as far as the eye could see, where it's just like sheet metal town, right? Like Portland ain't got crap on Djibouti when it comes down to homeless people and sheet metal. And they all have this little special drug called khat. Every single day, they shut down the entire country for khat hour, and they all chew on it, and they get high as crap, and then they wander around like a bunch of freaking meth addicts. That's what ends up happening on a daily basis over there. And guess where else they love this drug called khat? It's in Somalia. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure even the movie Black Hawk Down gave a reference to that. Somalia is trash. Djibouti is trash. They are all absolute, complete, and total garbage. And to call Ilhan Omar trash, in my opinion, is pretty dang justified. Extremely, extremely justified to call her trash. Would you like to know why it's justified to call Ilhan Omar trash? Because of the words that have came out of that woman's mouth in the past. She has not said nice things in the past. As a matter of fact, did I not post that video? I felt like I did. I'm over here looking for it right now so I could put it back up there. Oh man, what did I end up doing with it? Oh, I was too busy trashing on Congressman. Let's see here. Where did it go? I know it exists. She is a pile of freaking garbage, man. I know for a fact I replied to that sucker. So let me go back into my replies. Maybe I skipped over it. Yep. She is a horrible human being. I want you guys to hear this quote from her. I really, really want you guys to hear it. I really want you to hear it. You know what? I'll have to do it. Hold on. This is the easiest way to grab it. I thought I was going to have it right up front, but I don't. So now I just have to go over here and grab the video for you guys. This is Miss Omar.
CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties. In 2000.
Yeah, so clearly CARE was not founded after 9/11, and it wasn't some people did something. It was terrorists ended up flying a plane into the World Trade Center, into the Pentagon, and probably tried to attack the White House. I don't know if you guys have ever heard her make that statement before, but now you have. But wait, because she also hates white men.
16 is election cycle, and you guys have the ability to make an impact on where our nation is headed, not only here in the United States, but even in our nation back home.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Also not true.
We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
I will not.
And she goes on and on and on. She hates white men. That is just a fact. And she loves illegal immigration, and she loves the fraud that's taking place in her state. Otherwise, they would have stopped it. And you're going to see why here in a minute. Doc Hook Fly Fishing says, I left part of my pinky off of the Somali coast. Thanks, pirates. Well, Doc, brother, at least the fish got some food that day. You know what I mean? You know what? Your pinky might have, Doc, hear me out, man. Your pinky might have inadvertently fed some of those pirates, because you know they fish and you know they eat those fish. So what if, hear me out, what if your pinky fell off and into the ocean, a fish ate your pinky, brought life to it, and then the pirates caught the fish and then ate it, thereby bringing life back into the fish? Sir, you're a humanitarian. I don't even think you realize that. You are absolutely a humanitarian. I can't even read your name. Eli Johannes. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Omar needs to go like yesterday. A Somali tried to kill me in a bar with a knife once. What the heck? Somali tried to kill me in a bar with a knife once. By the way, not able to access Discord server. Can you post a new invite? Yes, I will post a new invite. Absolutely, I will do that. And I am not the blind 84. I think that's how it said. Says, still new to the channel, but my entire view on our government and global situation has changed. Thank you, Matt, for keeping it real. As always, saying the facts. Yeah, of course. And for those of you that said that you were watching one of the videos earlier and I just went live, if you would mind, please subscribe to the channel, because every little bit helps us out. And I appreciate every single one of you guys that come in here. This is literally how I make my living. This is what I do on a daily basis to make sure I can do my due diligence and bring you guys the facts and do fun little things like we're about to do here in just a minute. Now, ICE ended up hitting New Orleans and Minnesota probably about like the same time, right? Got a couple videos coming out from ICE. This one's coming from a Lowe's over inside of New Orleans. Not a heck of a lot going on within this one.
Do you have an ID?
Varios agentes de inmigración detienen a una persona en New Orleans. Le preguntan dónde nació, que se identifique. La persona se rehúsa a responder las preguntas. Muy triste y lamentable lo que está vigente.
I'm a U.S. citizen.
So where were you born? ¿Dónde naciste? ¿Dónde naciste? Dime la verdad.
I won't answer any more questions.
Okay. Can you put handcuffs on him, please?
It is a table, right? If you won't answer our questions,
well, he might not. No, he's not going to use it.
Excuse me.
I mean, I don't understand why y'all.
We're checking his immigration status, sir. So, since he won't ask it.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm not going to answer questions. Fine. You probably already, and I love how they like give you that particular portion of the video and that portion only, where they try to make it seem like they had no probable cause to arrest him because I'm not going to answer questions, even though they're sitting there clearly asking questions. And I'm pretty sure they got to the point where maybe they should have just started reading them his rights. Hell, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know if you have to read an illegal alien their rights before you end up arresting them. I would think you do, just to be perfectly like honest about that. But then again, if you're not going to ask him any more questions after that, I don't know. It's debatable. Anyways, Chris Kuntz, member of 25 months. And sir, you are an ultimate true supporter. Heck yeah, brother. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. This one is the one that I wanted to get after. This individual here that is going to be pictured inside of this video, we're going to give her a phone call and we're going to see if she's willing to talk about what actually happened to her and her poor cousin.
For you to be there. You're following me. Yeah, oh, okay. If you leave the property, I wouldn't be following you, sir. I wouldn't.
Allah Yes. They run. We're عرّين والله. Yeah.
And the police is on its way, yeah.
We're عرّين ice والله. We're joogaan والله. baabuurtooda ku carreen laakiin. Yeah. Ice waaye guriga Maxamed Daawud aan ka ceerinay. Yeah.
Okay, so that's basically it for like that portion of the video. There's another portion of it where she actually ends up, you know, calling and doing this business right here.
They've been knocking at my cousin's door.
Yeah. Excuse me, not calling. She's live streaming on TikTok. And I was able to find her account. And then from there, I did what Matt does and I got her phone number.
Doesn't have a warrant. So they're actually trespassing right now. Right? Because I call the cops. They can't do that.
I don't know. They're getting ready.
You're actually trespassing.
I'm not trespassing.
Yes, you are, because you're not here. You're not for what? Who gave you the permission to come here and knock at his door?
I can come.
And FYI, in an apartment complex, if it's open to the public, it's also open to law enforcement, and they're allowed to walk in there. So just because it's an apartment complex doesn't mean you're trespassing. They're allowed to walk up to anybody's door as long as it's accessible. Now, if there was like a locked and closed door and they end up defeating the lock and making their way inside of the apartment building, that's totally different because it's not accessible to the general public. But clearly, it is accessible. So they're not trespassing. And like she said, she's upset because they were knocking on her cousin's door and she's claiming her cousin ain't home. And I got a feeling because there's a video out that shows them before they enter the building and she probably called her cousin, was like, yo, ICE is here, lay low.
For why? That's harassing. You're an unwanted guest, so you're basically trespassing.
Well, I think you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm actually right. I'm recording this. I did call the police and they're on their way.
Oh, good. She called the cops on them too. So now let's see what resolve she was hoping to get from the cops for them walking into a public space.
Okay. Yeah, well, wait. This is ridiculous. You can't just be just...
سيف باطورة ميل في عم بجوتورة.
يلا ابتدادي سي.
معلم محمد ابتدادي. ورامس أنا ورامس سوريا سك سك.
كوادي. وعرن. كوادي.
مخواسة. هلا ما والله ما يكذب.
They left. We kicked him out. Oh man, I can't wait to call this lady.
Wait, yeah.
But go away, motherfucker. Go away, motherfucker. Yeah, motherfucker.
Hit the road, Jack. And don't
what
you
the
come
fuck?
back.
Go.
What do you want, Jogan? Wala duba.
Abi ora. Duba dadka.
Guriga raba inay galaan, no? Waa kaasa.
Nacala waalidkiin ku yari dhaladeen.
You guys get the. Oh, hold on. We'll finish it out before we call her.
Well, they have different states plates they watan. Marta. Wow. Wallahi plates kale watan. There's also another one missing. I don't know where the other one. Kan gaarigaas ku koraa mid kala haray. Kii oo jacket.
All right. We're going to give this poor lady a call. And we're going to see exactly why she felt like it would be a good idea to do that with ICE. So I hope you guys are ready for it because I'm pretty excited about it. I've actually been like dying to do this for a very long time. And I just decided, you know what? I'm going to do this live on air instead of like pre-recording it or anything like that. I'm just going to do it live on air and see if I can get her to answer some questions. So let's do that real quick. Hello, ma'am. Am I speaking to Bello? My name's Matt, and I'm a journalist.
Yeah. So why are you calling me on no caller ID?
Because I don't have my work phone on me, and I just saw the video, and I wanted to get ahead of the story before it actually got out. I believe I saw a TikTok video of yours of ICE agents entering into your building, where they were trespassing, going inside your building.
Actually, it was a friend of mine's.
Oh, it was your friend's building?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what happened?
So what type of reporter are you?
I'm a podcast host.
Where?
So I've got my own YouTube channel, and then I also go and I speak on mainstream media outlets, things like that. So that's where I come from. So like I'll have like news stations and stuff like that will call me and ask me, you know, hey man, can you come on here and talk about this topic or anything like that? And saw what was taking place over there. Heard that you said that they were trespassing, so I'm calling to figure out exactly what ended up happening because this information is important. You know, it's important to get these stories out.
Yeah, they were trespassing. They were masked. I'm not even sure if they were ICE agents. They were knocking at my friend's door like for about an hour, telling, "Hey, we want to know." Actually, what did they ask about his wellness check? That's what they came for. And then when he didn't open the door, they start saying that they're with Homeland Security. And then that's when he called me. He's like, hey, I think ICE is at my door, and I'm terrified. He's also not mentally stable. He has like multiple mental illness. So I'm one of his emergency contacts. So he calls me while I was at work, and he says, oh, hey, I'm freaking out. Homeland Security is knocking at my door. I'm like, don't open your door. And I said, check your balcony. You think anybody's out there? And he did. And I seen a guy with a black jacket. He was a Caucasian. And then I was like, okay. He was on live TikTok streaming. And then I told him, don't get off on TikTok and talk about how your, emotions are and what they're doing to you and how they kept knocking after you told them, no, I'm not going to open my door. Ask if they had a warrant to come in if they're like Homeland Security. And they said, no, we don't have warrant. And then tell them to please go away. And they didn't. So they were just actually all over the place, all over the apartment units. One was like on the stairway where I came in. There's one that was behind the building where his balcony was facing. There was 3 that were at the office asking if they can cooperate, which the office didn't. And he's been living there for 1.5 years with no issues and problems. He's actually so good with his neighbors and the office team. So when I came in, I was like, hey, you don't have a warrant. You're not allowed and you have no permission. Like, why are you here? Harassing and terrorizing our, community, and they couldn't answer. It was like, no, I don't need to have a permission. I'm not doing anything wrong. And I'm like, so why are you here? There's no purpose of you, roaming around with masks and guns and cuffs. And he had this plastic, what do you call one of those to restrain people?
Oh,
it's like handcuffs,
yeah.
But it's
like
not.
the plastic handcuffs?
Yeah, it was scary, and I had anxiety. I do have anxiety issues. I was just freaking out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you here? And then he kept saying, hey, mind your business. And I guess they got some parts of our interaction. And then I guess it went viral, I guess, if you're like calling me.
Well, I saw two videos. I saw one who's, clear. I think he's like your friend. That's the one that I saw first. And then I saw the other video of you inside. And then ended up kind of looking up and finding your TikTok account, which is how I was able to find you. Right. So I didn't go anything crazy and do background
I was
checks
on his live. Yeah. I told him not to I told him to stay. Actually, we called his lawyer. And he also said the same thing. Don't open the door. Call the police because they're trespassing if they don't have any warrant. They shouldn't be knocking at your door and harassing you. It's against the law.
And you said that they showed up claiming that they were there for a welfare check? At
first, yeah.
What?
Hey, open the door. We're here for your welfare check. We want to see if you're okay or not. That's what they told him. He said no.
So you said at first, did they change their story?
Yeah, they changed their story to, hey, we're Homeland Security. We got a few questions to ask you. That's when he called me.
Ooh. So at first they said, because I was going to ask you, because you said that your friend has I don't know how to properly say it. I don't remember exactly how you worded it, but had some issues, like possible mental health issues, something of that nature.
Yeah, but he doesn't lie about what he was told to. He's not going to exaggerate.
Yeah.
I didn't know. At first, it was like, hey, somebody is asking if I'm okay or not. And then when I said, yes, who are you? Who sent you? And then they kept it quiet for a while. And then they start knocking again. And that's when they changed the story to, we're Homeland Security. We just want to ask you a few questions. Can you come outside and can you open the door and come out?
So they started off by lying.
Yeah.
So they started off by lying, saying that they're doing it. So they started off by lying, saying that they were doing a welfare check. There was probably half a dozen or so cops that were there, and then was your friend talking to him through the door at all, or?
So the ones were in the stairways. I don't know if they were going to the garage. There was few. They weren't a dozen. I wouldn't say. Okay. I would say about 6. Oh, about a dozen. Half a dozen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's a lot. Okay. Yeah.
And it had different plates of vehicles. They're not from Minnesota. I found that out too through the office when I talked to the leasing manager. They asked if they can corroborate. So the leasing manager, his manager, he called in. They said, "Fuck no," and to get them out of the building. And then then it was over for them. They had to go. And the police were on their way.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to ask you if the local police were there and if they did anything, or if they said, did you talk to them afterwards?
I had to go back to work. When I figured out he was safe, I left my job. I had to go back.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's freaking scary. Is everybody else
terrifying? And it still haunts me till now because it's I'm seeing so many different state plates, and I'm like, damn, is it them? Are they following me? Yeah. And I'm a U.S. citizen, It's
right.
Anything can happen, because a lot of citizens were arrested. I don't want to get arrested.
Why did you feel the need to stick your neck out if you're worried about being arrested, even though you're a U.S. citizen?
Because I know I'm going to get out.
But you didn't think your friend would get out if they?
Yeah, because he's not a citizen.
So when you lied to the cops and you told them it was your when you lied to the cop, when you told the cops, when you lied to him and told him it was your cousin, do you think that maybe you broke the law and potentially?
He is my cousin, but he's not my close cousin. With our culture, if we're the same tribal. It's like considered cousins. It's different in American, like in English way. It's different, but he's my cousin, but he's not my close cousin. He's a distant cousin.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to get out?
Besides how we're being targeted, specifically Somali community.
Well, do you feel like they were targeting you because they didn't? I mean, I've heard the same thing, but they didn't push towards you or anything. Did they try to identify you? Did they ask you for ID or anything?
No, because the way I was approaching, they knew, like, I wouldn't come at them and also be illegal,
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same, what I'm saying is the reason I'm saying they're targeting the Somali community is because I know several illegal that lives in that building. They're not Somali. Why was the Somali guy targeted? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Why are they all over our community, our stores, our where we're a majority of, and then arresting people who also are citizens that don't speak that well of English to defend themselves? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it's because that Nazi Trump is after him. He's all over that crap.
And I heard he's a pedophile now. Trump is disgusting.
Allegedly, just allegedly.
Allegedly. Disgusting.
Oh my goodness. All right, man.
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Matt. Matt, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye. She just literally admitted to violating federal law on the phone. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh my God. How many of you guys have taken that clip and cut it down and blasted it out? How many of you, and why haven't you done it yet? Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. It sounded like she admitted to violating federal law. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Ugh. Wow. All right, now I got to go through these chats. Holy freaking crap. I did not expect that to happen. Wow. 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 Yeah, and again, you don't have to be so much. I can't believe she just admitted to that. I can't believe it. I'm calling from a private number. God. Dear God. Well, there's that. All right. So Mark says, in order to benefit from the rights of an American, you must first be an American. So a warrant is a moot point. Good job, Matt. Not necessarily true. But I understand where you're coming from. Old Man Y says the fire was a month ago, but I'm in Charlotte just hearing it. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Somali sounds like chicken in a garbage disposal, giving out $2. Yeah. Old Man Y says, hey, Matt, check out about the fire. 24 veterans out of home in Charlotte. Oh, crap. All right. Well, we're going to have to look into that then. Your mom says, I sent a post on Twitter and tagged you. Yeah, that was freaking insane, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys clip that, please, if one of you guys takes that and clips it, for the love of God, please tag me in it. Please, 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 please tag me in it. And I'm just going to go ahead now that I know it's officially her, and I'm going to drop her TikTok account. I am so excited. I am so excited for this. Holy freaking crap. What a freaking boss move, man. John Smith says, for that call, pacifically. Yeah. Man. Dude, my head is spinning right now. McNamara John F. coming in, gifting out a Speak the Truth membership. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Well, now we got to go back and listen to the beginning of that. So now with all of that context.
They've been knocking at my cousin's door. Yeah. He doesn't have a warrant. So they're actually trespassing right now. right? Because I call the cops. They can't do that.
I don't know. They're
would that also violate like state law as well for like abuse of a 911? Like she knows she's hiding an illegal. Like she just admitted to it. She said that he wasn't home, and then she called the cops on him.
You're actually trespassing.
I'm not trespassing.
Yes, you are, because you're not here. You're not for what? Who gave you the permission to come here and knock at his door?
I can come in and knock at his door.
For why? That's harassing. You're an unwanted guest, so you're basically trespassing.
Well, I think you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm actually right. I'm recording this. I did call the police, and they're on their way.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, wait. You can't just be just.
سيف باطورة ميل في عم بجوتورة.
يلا ابد سي. معلم محمد ابد
ورامس أنا ورامس سوريا سك.
كوادي.
وعرن.
كوادي.
مخواسة. هلا ما والله ما يكذب. ما خدها ما خدها.
This is on its way. Yeah.
But go away, motherfucker.
Go away,
motherfucker.
Do I have to explain that I am broadcasting? No, I don't. No. When you live in a one-party consent state, you can record the other end of the phone call, and that is your own personal property. I mean, that is what it is. And if anybody else thinks otherwise, I would love to know about it, but no. And explain that I was a reporter and all of that other stuff. And I think a reasonable person would know that if you're speaking to a member of the media, that they are going to report on what you say. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. So I can't wait. I literally can't wait to come out with this. This is hilarious. Hey, my cousin is from my village. Yeah, incog, I get it. And again, and that whole mental thing, it just kind of went away, didn't it? Engineer says, thanks, Matt, for what you do. That was amazing. Yeah, I appreciate it. Mick Darnoff, I'm sorry, McNamara, Don F says, good job and thank you. No, I really appreciate that. That was freaking nuts, man. She said there were several illegals living in that building and asked why they were targeting Justice Smolians. ICE got its next target. Yeah. It wasn't just that she had claimed that there were several illegals living inside of that, like that building itself. It was like the entire thing. Like she doesn't even live there, according to her. Right. So it's going to be really fun for them to be able to like track and trace her down. How did I get her number? Oh, you guys want to see how I got her number? I'll tell you what. As right now, while we're live on the air, I will just take this, and what I'm going to do, because that was absolutely hilarious, dude. I can't believe that literally just went down. I've got a link to that video, and I'm going to grab it because it's hilarious, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to post it right now. So bear with me while I do that, because now I got to quote post it. You know what I mean? Do. All right. So you guys want to know how? I'm going to go ahead and drop it into the comment section for you guys. You know what? I'll just tell you, because this is her public TikTok account, ladies and gentlemen. her friend ended up putting up a video that had her name on it. I took that video, I conducted a Google search, and then I found her public TikTok account. And I went to her public TikTok account, and I didn't have to go an inch further. I didn't have to go 1 inch further, not 1 inch further. And as you can see up on your screen, her phone number was listed publicly. That is how I found her. That is how I got a hold of her. That's what happened. I don't know how else to tell you that. You could go over to her TikTok account right now, and her phone number is probably still going to be up on there. I've just pulled it off of there. I don't know, maybe like an hour ago. But yeah, unfortunately for her, I'm in a one-party state. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else to say about that. One-party consent state. And I told her I was a member of the media. So, and she was speaking with me about the story. And she did, in fact, admit that, yes, the person inside of that building is illegal. If you guys want to see where I put that and where you can find that video, I will just go ahead and drop that down, boop, right there in the chat for you guys. Wow, I feel like I am just really well accomplished today. I don't have to do anything else. I feel like I accomplished something, you know? I feel like I'm doing my part for America. It's a good day. It's a good day. Yeah, she's about to be notified. Matt, you are our cousin. Well, I don't know about me being your cousin, man. I didn't dox her number. It's publicly listed on her TikTok profile where allegedly she was live streaming. Like, that was her video, that first video. That was her. She was live streaming. That's her TikTok account. It's got her phone number listed on it publicly. It's not private. I didn't have to follow her, anything. As a matter of fact, you can see I didn't have to follow her to get it. She's got it listed publicly underneath there. So you guys asked me how I got it. You guys asked me where it came from. That was it. Right there. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying. And I may or may not send that directly over to Mr. Bavino, because I think maybe he will be interested in it. And maybe they will have some evidence to use in court, you know? So I'm just going to, like, as we sit here, I'm just going to go ahead and send him a message as well. Yep. So give me 1 sec as I shoot him a DM. God, you know, like, I feel like I'm going to get labeled some sort of a bigot or, you know, something of that nature. I don't know. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, got a feeling somebody's gonna hear about that one. That's freaking wild. I can't wait for that one to go out. That's going to be great, man. If you guys do cut those clips, like, by all means, please, for the love of God, tag me in it. Absolutely tag me in that video. I got to see it. If you guys are tagging DHS or anybody else like that and all of this crap, make sure, for the love of God, please make sure that you explain why you're tagging them, because it's also hilarious. Man, people in their freaking small brains. I tell you. Yep. That's a problem. Yep. Yeah, I don't know how else to say that. Wow, do I go on with the show? I don't I did not expect to get that answer and response. I did not think that she would actually admit to that, man. Holy freaking crap. All right. I gotta give thanks to you guys that came in with the super chats. I appreciate you guys being patient while I put that out. Here also, this is, if you guys are curious where you can find that now and that information, no lies detected. Pinned to the top of the chat, you guys can go find that post and you could blast it. You could do whatever you want with it. Have fun. I don't care. I can't believe that somebody just admitted to that at all. Like, at all. Why would you do that? Why? Oh, dear God. Lady, Lady. Oh, God, man. All right. Got to keep going. Oh, my goodness. All right. Like I said, I got that church function too. All right. I got a couple minutes, so I guess I'll have to get to some of this crap. Let me speed through because, like I said, I've got that church function I got to go to. Let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, yeah. Tim Walz. Everybody freaking hates that guy. Here you go. Here's the House Oversight Committee that ended up coming out today. That was a hoot to watch, Matt. Nice job. Thank you. I expect you guys to clip the crap out of that and send it all around. Oversight Committee says, we launched an investigation into allegations of massive fraud under Tim Walz's watch in Minnesota. If you are an employee or have information, Chairman Rep. James Comer wants to know. Thank you for blowing the whistle. Then we have the Minnesota Staff Fraud Reporting System right here. They said Tim Walz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud. But no, we got the opposite response. Tim Walz specifically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring. This is the wild part. Using monitoring, threats, repression, and did best to discredit fraud reports. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation by Tim Walz, certain DFL members, and an indifferent mainstream media. It's scary, isolating, and left us wondering who we can turn to. In addition to retaliating against a whistleblower, Tim Walz disempowered the Office of Legislative Honor, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this thing goes on and on and on. Like, he might actually end up in jail as well. Like, absolutely, this guy might actually end up in jail. And that would be kind of wild to see a freaking governor get arrested. Personally,
to Al Qaeda. Justice Department says it will take a look. National correspondent Jeff Paul has details.
They're calling for an investigation. 4 Minnesota Congress members addressing the state's U.S. attorney, demanding answers after a report claimed taxpayer dollars were ending up in the hands of Somali terror group Al-Shabaab.
If you're paying taxes for services you expect and things you expect your state government to provide, those taxes should not be going to a terrorist group in a foreign country.
House Majority Whip Tom Emmer is referencing this article written by urban policy magazine City Journal, which is published by a conservative think tank, the Manhattan Institute. Citing unnamed sources, the report alleges funding that was supposed to go to state programs to help with housing and feeding people was being stolen.
The mayor
Without
of
specifying an amount, the article claims some of that money was then sent to Somalia.
Varios agentes de inmigración detienen a una persona en New Orleans. Le preguntan dónde nació, que se identifica.
Just people walking around killing each other.
Demons. All of the demons started going off at once. All of the demons. I think that's my sign that I need to retire for the night. Holy freaking cow. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I do have the church function that I need to get off my butt and go to. And she did. She volunteered the information. And again, double checked. Not only am I in a one-party state, but so is she. One-party consent state, meaning as long as one person on the line knows that it's being recorded, it's just fine. And that recording is my own personal property. It's just a fact. I also informed her that I'm a member of the media. And she admitted plainly and bluntly that the person on the other side of the door would have been deported. Very clear. Very clear. I see, let's see here. Hollywood Marine says you should call Old State Saloon in Idaho offering a free month of beer, helping ICE find and deport undocumented immigrants. Yeah, and we could donate that free month of beer to the veterans over inside of freaking North Carolina who just ended up homeless. Incog Faraday gifted out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. Let's see here. CJ says, update from a few months ago, Matt Hoover, CRS Firearms, was released from prison to a halfway home today. Bogus machine gun distro charges. Yeah, dude, I hate that crap. Absolutely hate that crap. She said she was there. Several legals. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting lost in some of these super chats right now. Thank you, Matt. Made my day. That was a hoot to watch. Every single one of you guys. I really appreciate it. That's why we do what we do, because every now and then I like to just bring a little bit of interesting stuff to you guys. Holy freaking cow. Ladies and gentlemen, what a freaking day. What a day. What a day. Well, with that being said, all I can tell you is peace, love, happiness, and God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take off. I feel like I accomplished a very big mission tonight. I feel like I did a good job. And again, do me a favor, take those clips, cut them, and share the crap on that stuff. I'm out of here.
Speculate why that has happened. And according to SPLC, 81 people were killed by those influenced by the alt-right since 2014. So I will repeat something I've said before. It is a statement of fact. White men, driven by hateful ideology of white nationalism, are committing the overwhelming majority of extremist attacks in this country. And we are not doing enough to confront.
It is really a sad day in America. We are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the